Corrupted big boys, want to make jail at all. On one hand, we have Kamala doltishly looking for war. On the next hand is the boy girl rat is man he looking for. Your AI song for election, it was a mortal sin. You lie and say when UNC win, everybody win. But after election, you let go your princess tongue hen. Now CPEP and URP workers catching the nenem. Them little bandits does engage the soldiers and police, but Kamala gone down Venezuela disrupting the peace. If Venezuela sneeze, we whole army go start to run. We can't fight Venezuela with we set a little caps gun. This little girl in parliament just keep calling my name, but tell her in Kaiso I'm already in the Hall of Fame. God forbid if I do the things that she want me to do. I'm warning you, your receptacle going to split in two.
What song is keep your family close?
Fall in, fall in, fall in. Oh yeah, fall in. Lord, family. Christmas is a family. From the children to tante, cousin, uncle and auntie. Family, spend Christmas with family. Keep your family close. Life will be sweeter than candy. Well, let me hear you sing. Oh, dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo. Es la vibra. Dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo. A cada niño necesita una familia. A cada niña necesita una familia. No podemos olvidar a la familia. Respeta siempre a tu familia. I used to play with them in the rain and get you bobbing down in the drain. And when you catch yourself on that string, them on your back again and again. There's so much a man go surely climb. With them you spend so much of your time. Instead of getting exposed to crime, stay home and have a family life. Family, Christmas is a family. From the children to tante, cousin, uncle and auntie. Family, spend Christmas with family. Keep your family close. Vibes will be sweeter than candy. Well, let me hear you sing. Oh, dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo. Family is the first ones that you call when times get rough and you take a fall. So when things nice and your money tall, then you should link with you have a ball. Or we should put the family first. About their wins we should always bounce. So when you take and your Christmas toast, just for the ones you love the most. Family, Christmas is a family. From the children to tante, cousin, uncle and auntie. Family, spend Christmas with family. Keep your family close. Life will be sweeter than candy. Well, everybody sing. Oh, dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo. Ah, hey. Dulce caramelo, dulce caramelo. A cada niño necesita una familia. A cada niña necesita una familia. No podemos olvidar a la familia. Respeta siempre a tu familia. Family, Christmas is a family. From the children to tante, cousin, uncle and auntie. Family, spend Christmas with family. Keep your family close. Life will be sweeter than candy.
Hi fam, it's your girl the Taki Lendo, and I'm shooting my video for I Love right here in Parmin. Come up Parmin, Larry Lime.
I like pastels, I like pay me, I like black cake and fruit cake too. I like turkey, I like sweet bread, give me the sorrel and ginger beer. But I love Jesus, Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. Yes, I love Jesus, Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. I like shopping, I like baking, I like painting. It's looking good. I see you cleaning, your power washing. I see your curtains, but just one thing. Do you love Jesus? Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. 'Cause I love Jesus. Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. Yes, I love Jesus. Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. Yes, I love Jesus. Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. He didn't have to come for me. He didn't have to die for me. He didn't have to set me free. But I'm glad that he did. He did. He didn't have to come for me. He didn't have to come. He didn't have to die for me. He didn't have to die. He didn't have to set me free. But I'm glad that he did. Yes, I love Jesus. Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. Yes, I love Jesus. Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. You love Jesus. Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. 'Cause I love Jesus. Emmanuel, God is with us. He left heaven to save us, and we will overcome. I love him. I love him. I love him. I love him. Do you love him? Do you love him? Do you love him? Do you love him? I love Jesus. I love Jesus. I love Jesus. I love Jesus.
Hi. So a lot of people have been asking, where is Haley by Wendy? Yeah, anybody confused? That's okay. Don't be too concerned. We didn't move too far. Only from Matilda Princess Song to High Street Princess Song. I saw a video showing how to exactly get to us. As you can see, we are just over Second Credit Union, and that yellow staircase is your pathway to many potential great services that you'll love. Just to name a few so you can get a hint of what we're all about: wig installment, braids, relaxer, color, manicure, pedicure, waxing, and much more. Do you want to book an appointment with us? If so, message us on our WhatsApp at 868-331-9747.
You give your hand to me. Hey guys, I am Nigel O'Connor, a singer for all seasons. I am that voice that moves you for every occasion. I am that voice that celebrates life moments one note at a time. I am Nigel O'Connor. You can contact me at 783-0054 or 754-3154. And oh yes, that's me singing in the background.
Apostle Dr. Corey K. Grant.
Oh, when the river flows, it will bring every dead thing to life. Because he is Yahweh, Alpha and Omega. That's who he is.
Invites you to an evening of just worship with the Burton sisters.
Jesus, we need a fresh
Spoken word.
we love you.
Ministry in dance with Faith Over Fear dance team. Come and be ministered to by several worship teams. An evening of just worship at Life in the Word Prophetic Cathedral at 166 Pointer Pier Road, Fistabella, San Fernando. See you there.
Breathe new life in us.
I recall more than 3 decades ago, a senior telecommunications manager, let's call him Michael. And Michael was assigned to the task of presenting the government's position at a regional conference. Michael struggled and visibly trembled, especially since he presented after the retired North American ambassador, who had the audience in stitches, laughing up every word. I'm Dr. Madonna Dodd, and I made a silent vow then to help people like Michael, who are technically competent, but who struggle and succumb to fear when speaking in public. Now, as a communications architect, I partner with organizations and individual leaders to transform their leadership presence, including the way they express themselves. So, if your goal is to amplify your authentic voice, influence others, and lead with confidence, join me from October 28th to November 11th for our Communicate with Confidence online course. To all the Michaels, it's possible to overcome fear, step fully into your role, and lead with confidence.
This letter is just for you. My intention was to give you this letter when election was true. But since Dr. Rowley was stepping down, I figured I couldn't wait. I'm reading it now.
I'm reading it now.
Before it's too late.
Before it's too late.
I hear people say the PNM wasting the nation's time. I hear people say the UNC go scrape every last dime. And some couldn't choose between bad and worse, so I had to write this plea for the next leader of this country. Cause we need to see a nation full of success. We need a leader addicted to progress. Someone who's not here for the money and always giving us transparency. A leader with a clear destination and a direction that we will see. Most respectfully, to whom this may be. Some people say bad politics slowing this nation down, and some people say implementation is where we does go wrong. But I say that they both are true, and that's what we need to see to fix our style of democracy. Some people say this moving world keeps on evolving, and some people say our infrastructure needs some upgrading. That's why I hope this letter you read for these issues to resolve, so sweetie auntie could start to evolve. Cause we need to see ministries that competent, information you'll get in 10 seconds, public servants who will answer the phone and give you advice with a pleasant tone. A bank run should take you the whole day. It's time we stop playing that war we was see.
That war we was see.
Most respectfully,
to whom this may be.
when I was a little boy, but when I see they arrested Earl, I'm glad my gun was just a toy. It reminds me there are few ways up and 1,000 ways to fall. It's not just for one, but that goes for all. Many leaders in this land could be guilty or innocent, and it's hard for the people to truly know, so they will judge your intent. So before you walk in that big office, take a look at your character and have a long chat with Almighty Father. Cause we need to see power without ego. Take a ride on the bus, let people know. Don't be too much on your high horse, but be confident whenever time calls. Careful how much your leaders put one pot. Them things have to stop. Thy war we was see.
Thy war we was see.
Most respectfully,
to whom this may be.
This is written in the future tense, with hopes that you are a leader of great poise and great resilience, one who structures TNT with its local policies, not from global powers, but what the nation needs. I'm not going to lecture you on what's right and what is wrong, but I ask you based on the people's needs, keep your ears down on the ground. And don't be like Gillian Bishop and not care what the people think, cause you could still learn from the babes and sucklings. Cause we need to see TNT in the World Cup. Innovation from young people don't stop. A culture industry to hang the emblem high, so soca go stop trying to eat the pie. A leader who strike paying to criminals, that is critical. Thy war we was see.
Thy war we was see.
Most respectfully,
to whom this may be.
information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
When will we stop falling into the same trap? Oh, when will mankind learn to see that the further we stray from Jehovah's roadmap is the more we invite in misery. There's no better way in this world for peace and total rest. Tried and tested, Christ's way is the best. No philosophy, no creed could ever supersede what the Holy Bible, wonderful oracle, showing the people. Oh yeah, and two shall be in the field, one shall be taken. Oh yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Every stone shall be upturned and false doctrine shaken, while God's truth and His people are lifted high. Yeah, the Father never needed religion or systems of earth. His word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's promises changes never, and true government is when God leads the leader. Lead them on, yeah. True government is when God leads my leaders. Oh, oh yeah. Badila da badila pampade. Serious thing now. We'll hear the message in the rhythm. Oh yeah. Badila da badila pampade. Problem number one is so plain and simple. Religion, it has sentenced God to death. With falsehood and folly, they blindfold simple people for power and the profit that they get. Some would burn you at the stake, rack you and wheel you out for mere denial or even doubt. With violence and bribery they try, is your soul they want to buy. But Jesus said, come freely, all who labor and are weary, come rest in me. Christ say, rest in me. And I say, two shall be in the field, one shall be chosen. Oh yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false government shaken, while God's truth and His people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. His truth stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's statutes changes never. No man, true government is when God leads my leaders. Oh, oh yeah, true government is when God instructing the leader. You're listening to the Father. Oh, oh, oh. Will hear me lament for true government, from the president to the parliament, transforming the government there, affecting the vagrant on the pavement. We want a leader that is heaven sent. Oh, oh, oh. Mathematicians, physicians, politicians, atheists, etc. deny God or decide to just patronize. Hey, they tolerate Christianity as just a social matter, to bury, for marriage, and to baptize. Hey man, check the first two presidents of the United States of America. They were Orthodox, practicing Christians, because the mysteries of God's plan are nonsense to carnal man. The master say walk by faith, never to extrapolate, cause he's too great. I know he's too great, and I say two shall be in the field, one shall be chosen. Yeah, yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false government shaken to the root, while God's truth and his people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. No, his word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's statutes changes never. Oh man, true government is when God leading the leader, instructing the leader. We want a government that's tried and true to represent me and you from the Christian crew. Without a word from God, what we gonna do? We want a man from the chosen few. Oh, 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 oh. Somebody love somebody. That is when God leads the leader. It was always true messengers of God's salvation who ruled over the earth's political fate. Oh yeah, but now thanks to the emergence of secular humanism, they separating the church from the state. Ask King David, Joshua, Samuel, Solomon, all these great folks. They knew government without God is guesswork. Without prophetic words to guide, the leader bound to slip and slide. So you know when all is said and done, they got to know the Holy One to lead my generation, my congregation. Two shall walk in the field, one shall be chosen. Yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false doctrine shaken, while God's truth and his people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. No, 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 his word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's promises changes never. No man true government is when God leading the leader, he leading the region, he leading my nation, my generation, with a word for reformation. Oh, 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 oh. May what the congregation sing, yeah, true government is when God leads my leader. When Jehovah Nissi in charge of it, we go have a brighter future for we generations, for we children, yeah. Oh, 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 oh.
But we can't organize together. Why do you think that is?
Self-hatred, petty differences, and the indoctrination of white supremacy, meaning most black people feel the only people they need to be accountable to are whites. They can never answer to a black person. This is why if you talk to any black supervisor or black manager, they'll tell you they get more hell from their black employees than their white ones. Because whenever we see black authority, we rebel against it because we've been trained to believe that black people are worthless. And if you yourself is worthless, how much more worthless will be your authority over me? Until we do something about the collective self-hate of African people, we will never change anything else. It is the psychological crutch of self-hate that keeps us where we are. We are $2 trillion people. Why are we waiting for reparations? Don't get me wrong. We're entitled to reparations. But why are we waiting on them with that type of money? It makes no sense. It's because we do not believe in working together. We would rather wait on white supremacy to change itself before we change ourselves.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Good evening to those of you locked on wherever in the world
You are listening to me, Constructive Talk. It is time to talk out. It's time to talk out. It's time to stand up. It's time to share your views on current affairs and issues that are taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, by extension the world and all over. It's your turn. It's your turn to talk to me. It's your turn to share your views. It's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. Let me tell you something. There's so much to talk about, and as we always say, there's such little time to talk about it. So much to talk about, but little time to talk about it. Let me say good evening again to those of you who reached out to me today. A lot of persons reached out to me today. A lot. Close to 200 persons reached out to me today. Right? And they said to me, Pastor Google, could you stick to your format and not be distracted and not be taken down a rabbit hole and, lose the real essence of your program? And they basically told me if I don't stick to my program, they will not come back on the live. So I'm taking heed to those persons who over 200 persons who have messaged me today telling me that if I don't stick to my program, they're not going to listen to me anymore. Because we have a format and that persons are interested in, and they want me to stick to that format. Anytime I move away from that, I'm going to lose listeners, viewers, and persons who are genuinely interested in what I have to say and why I have to say what I have to say. So, again, let me say thank you to all of you who have reached out to me today. All the messages that I would have received, I want to expressly thank all of you. Expressly thank all of you who reached out to me and would have sent me messages really commending me on my style of programming. Persons would have reached out to me and thanked me for having former Minister of Youth and National Service, Mr. Cummings, for being on. And they said to me, if I don't stick to my program, they're going to boycott. That's basically what they're saying. If I don't stick to what I do, they are going to boycott the program. So I want to, again, tell them, I will stick to what I do best. All right? I will stick to that, and I'm not going to be sidetracked. I promise you that. I'm not going to be sidetracked in any way. All right? This evening program is going to be on the news. But we're going to be looking at certain things in the news, and I really want people to be interactive this evening, because we're going to be talking about certain things in the news. We're going to be touching on certain issues that arose in the news, and I don't even know what to say. Sometimes I just know what to say, because I just be so shocked. So yesterday we would have played Mr. Alexander statements, and I would have tried to get your views on it and what your thoughts about it and stuff like that. And I thought Alexander was bad, and maybe it's just me, but you could tell me what are your thoughts when you listen to this minister response to a person in the media. A person in the media would have asked a minister a question, and the minister would have responded. This is the minister's response to the question that the person asked, the media person asked him. All right? Now, before I play that, so there is this video that has gone viral all over Trinidad and Tobago. You will expect that a lot of persons would have seen the video. All right, you would have expected a lot of persons to see the video that I'm about to show you. So I'm going to show you the video and then I'm going to show you the response of the minister. All right, listen to this. Take a look at this. Boy, I don't know what to say. A shock. I was shocked. I was taken aback. When I heard the minister's response. Cool? So take a listen to this.
Is now in police custody following a maxi-taxi robbery along the priority bus route yesterday. Police say charges have not yet been laid as they cannot confirm if the individual was involved in the incident. The TTPS is urging maxi and taxi drivers to invest in security systems such as dash cams. The robbery, which saw passengers held up by armed assailants near Windy Hill, Aruka, was captured on the driver's dashboard camera. The footage has since circulated on social media, sparking outrage and condemnation from the public.
Minister Zakur, as MP Morris spoke about crime and going down, we saw on the bus route a video. I don't know if you saw it at all, but there was a robbery that had taken place in a red band maxi. Persons were robbed. It seemed to be an aggressive altercation, and it's gone viral, of course. Any comments to apprehensive people? I spoke to one man who said he uses the bus route on a daily basis. He travels and he's afraid. What message you have for the population and any feedback that you can provide as it pertains to potentially more patrols, for instance, of the TTPS on the bus route, that kind of thing?
I have not seen the video. I can't speak of persons being apprehended. Direct those questions to the Minister of Homeland Security. But regarding on the bus route, the transit police, the traffic wardens, and other authorities do patrol very often the bus route.
So you have no information as Minister of Transport that there was a robbery that earned national attention?
At this moment, no, I have not seen the video, ma'am.
One man is now in police custody following a maxi-taxi robbery along the priority bus route yesterday. Police say charges have not yet been laid as they cannot confirm if the individual was involved in the incident. The TTPS is urging maxi and taxi drivers to invest in security systems such as dash cams. The robbery, which saw passengers held up by armed assailants near Windy Hill, Aruka, was captured on the driver's dashboard camera. The footage has since circulated on social media, sparking outrage and condemnation from the public.
Minister Zakur, as MP Morris spoke about crime and going down, we saw on the bus route a video. I don't know if you saw it at all, but there was a robbery that had taken place in a red band maxi. Persons were robbed. It seemed to be an aggressive altercation, and it's gone viral, of course. Any comments to apprehensive people? I spoke to one man who said he uses the bus route on a daily basis. He travels and he's afraid. What message you have for the population and any feedback that you can provide as it pertains to potentially more patrols, for instance, of the TTPS on the bus route, that kind of thing?
I have not seen the video. I can't speak of persons being apprehended. Direct those questions to the Minister of Homeland Security. But regarding on the bus route, the transit police, the traffic wardens, and other authorities do patrol very often the bus route.
So you have no information as Minister of Transport that there was a robbery that earned national attention?
At this moment, no, I have not seen the video, ma'am.
Yeah, what now? Yeah, what? I just want to know, honestly, I just want to know what you all thoughts about us. Honestly, I just want to hear what you all think about what the minister said. Could it be that innocently, yeah, he could not know? Do you think that his response was one that you're comfortable with? Are you comfortable with the response of the minister? Are you comfortable? That's a question I want to ask this evening. Are you comfortable with the response that the minister gave to the reporter who asked him about? Could it be that I looking too much into it? Yes or no? You happy with the response? Yes or no? This evening we're going to be very interactive because I'm going to be playing some videos and I want to hear how you feel about it. Are you comfortable with the response of the minister? Yes or no? Am I expecting too much from the minister? Am I expecting that the minister should be one who would say who should be aware of what's taking place? That is the question I want to ask this evening. Are you comfortable with the response of the minister? You realize he is saying that question. Ask the Minister of Homeland Security about that. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Pastor Mo.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Hi. I am not comfortable with the minister's response at all.
Why?
And furthermore, I'm getting really tired of these ministers who, when they are asked questions, they refuse to answer or they don't answer any question at all. He doesn't need to see the video to make a comment. He's a minister. He must have something to say. He must have something to say about how they're going to deal with situations like that will come up from time to time. I am really, I was lost for words, actually. When I saw that you played just now, my mouth was open and it couldn't close because I couldn't believe it. What is really going on in this country? These ministers are playing smart with foolishness. This is the same thing they're doing in Parliament. When the reporters ask them any questions outside Parliament pertaining to important issues in the country that the citizens need to know about, they are not answering.
All right, Cora.
And frankly, I find that something has to be done about the way these ministers are responding to important questions in this country.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening.
Good night, Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Good night, yes. So I'm calling you from Canada.
Right.
And I saw that, yes, not too long after this happened, I was looking at my phone and I saw the incident that took place on the bus route.
Right.
I really am lost for words when I hear the minister. But it's not he alone. Roger Alexander, it looked like it's a cabal of them. They're in the same group. No, boy. It's frightening. It is frightening. Because he don't know. I don't get that. I don't get that. And I'm living in Trinidad. And it's not me alone. other people telling me. I went to church today.
Right.
And in the church, the people are asking me, wow, did you see what happened in Trinidad? I say, yes. As other people telling, if I miss it, somebody else telling me about it. Because we have all kind of Caribbean people there. People even from Jamaica, they say, but Trinidad is a mess. I say, oh God. I say, yeah, but you know, that's how it is, you know. Anyway, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
I'm watching at you right now.
Thank you very
I'm watching
much.
at you right now. I stayed up all night until you're finished. Right? And I see Mulilal taking credit.
You're trying to take credit for something that Mr. Stuart Young had in chain.
I see, yes, and you're talking about BP and the fertilizer, but I realized last night you showed something there. I wanted to show it again and again because it wasn't directed for Trinidad. So let Mulilal know that no, don't take credit for that. Everybody don't know what's going on.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much,
I'm watching. I locked in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm taking your calls and I'm asking you, do you who listening, are you comfortable with the response of the minister? Hello, good evening.
Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening.
Well, you know, as usual, they hear nothing, they see nothing, they know nothing. They are not being advised.
Oh gosh.
And I find we could fire Hines right now.
You could who?
We could fire Mr. Hines because like is Hines still there?
Oh, that's what you mean.
How come they better ball to fire Hines because they know nothing, they see nothing, they hear nothing, they're not being advised about nothing, they know nothing.
Nothing they don't know.
The only thing they know for sure.
Tell me.
Is that half and most could be both. God.
Oh gosh. I hear you. So what we talking about, if you're not joining us on the live and you want to know what we're talking about, what is this discussion this evening? So this evening, a media person would have asked the minister of, he's in the Ministry of Transport, ask him about the robbery on the bus route because I think that's his remit. So she asked him about the robbery on the bus route in the Maxi. She said there's a video that going viral of some men robbing a red band Maxi, and she asked him what was his thoughts about it and what they plan to do, and he turned and he said to her, that's not in my remit. Ask the Minister of Homeland Security. Yeah, that was the man's response. That was his response. You didn't believe me?
Minister Zakur, as MP Morris spoke about crime and going down, we saw on the bus route a video. I don't know if you saw it at all, but there was a robbery that had taken place in a red band Maxi. Persons were robbed. It seemed to be an aggressive altercation, and it's gone viral, of course. Any comments to apprehensive people? I spoke to one man who said he uses the bus route on a daily basis. He travels and he's afraid. What message you have for the population and any feedback that you can provide as it pertains to potentially more patrols, for instance, of the TTPS on the bus route, that kind of thing?
I have not seen the video. I can't speak of persons being apprehended. Direct those questions to the Minister of Homeland Security. But regarding on the bus route, the transit police, the traffic wardens, and other authorities do patrol very often the bus route.
So you have no information as Minister of Transport that there was a robbery that earned national attention?
At this moment, no, I have not seen the video, ma'am.
No, I haven't seen the video, ma'am. Are you comfortable with that response from the minister? Are you comfortable? Yes or no? Those of you who are on the live and you're listening, you want to call in, you could call in on 464-7003, 464-7003. Are you comfortable? Are you happy with the response of the minister? Yes or no? Talk to me. Are you comfortable with the response of the minister? You think the minister responded appropriately, or do you think that the minister something in right, something in adding up there? You comfortable with the response, or you're not comfortable with the response? Yes or no? So while I wait for your calls, for you to tell me if you're comfortable or not, another story came out in the news. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night, Pastor Google.
Good evening, sir.
Well, to be quite honest, sir, I would expect him to say something like, the situation is unfortunate, and I will have a meeting with the Maxi Taxi Drivers Association in conjunction with the Minister of Homeland Security to see how best we could combat this situation, rather than just sitting down there being passive, because it just shows that, it's either you're not interested in the matter or you're just waiting for somebody else to do the job. So I think his passive attitude was kind of, look, if it was a normal person like you and me, we would have lost our work.
I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
Imagine if I'm responsible for, if I was in his portfolio at a lower level, and somebody came and told me that exact same situation, and I just say, well, I hear nothing about it, and somebody will just go and complain and say, look, this man right here interested in doing anything about it.
Thank you. And
you just collected a salary out of false pretenses then.
So I think you should be his communications person, you know.
Well, strangely enough, I'm in media.
Yeah, I think you should be his communication person, because the answer you give just now is an ideal and perfect answer to pacify and build the confidence of the Maxi Taxi. Here you have just won over the Maxi Taxi Association people. You have also won the attention of the passengers. That's what you just did there. Than to tell me as a citizen, hear what now? That is not in my remit, you know. That is the Minister of Homeland Security remit. Ask him about that.
Yeah, pass the buck syndrome.
Yeah. So all of you are not working as colleagues. So even though you're saying that is for the Minister of Homeland Security, you would say you should have at least say to the people, hear what? I understand that it happened on the bus route, which is part of my responsibility. So what I will seek to do is have a meeting with the Minister of Homeland Security to see how we can beef up security on the bus route.
Yeah, because I just thought up something, just on my part, right? If I had a meeting with the Maxi Taxi Drivers Association, we would have formalized some kind of plan where, we have some kind of electronic communication system in case they get robbed. They press a button that would alert the police.
Yes.
Let's just say we have a GPS locator, and the alert would go to whoever relevant police station or department in the police station, and they could say, like, all right, it has something happened there. And let's just say that Aruka side of the bus route.
Yeah.
All units in that area
should be able to respond.
Exactly. Yeah. And what the most useful thing that Alexander ever said was saying that how taxi drivers should invest in those camera systems, the security camera systems within the bus.
Yeah.
But he didn't say anything like, hey, I want to look into the matter because, it's too long this nonsense going on. But he's just saying, well, we invested in a little camera system now. But then what? But I just thinking first world country, and
yeah, man.
I'll tell you this: if I tell this idea to somebody in the ministry or anywhere, I'm not talking about the man on the ground, right? For someone in the ministry, they're gonna say who will through all of that.
All right.
It's nothing for them to gain from that. It's not about service because you're a public servant. It's not about service.
Yeah.
It's just about market time in the ministry, collect how much money you could, see how much deals you can get, blame PLM for anything that go wrong, and then when the time up, well, I had a good ride. I'll make a little change. I eat a food.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Gogo.
Thank you very much for calling. Thank you very much. Yeah, Nicola is right. Nicola is totally right. Totally right. I want to play for you another video that jumped out at me in the news. What jumped out at me in the news? I want to play another video for you as we go to the 9 o'clock hour. I want to play another video for you that jumped out at me in the news. So we're going to the 9 o'clock hour right here on Constructive Talk. If you're now joining me, we're looking at some of the things that happened today in Trinidad and Tobago on the news. And one of the things we were talking about a while ago is the response from the minister after a reporter asked him about the robbery that took place on the bus route. So what we're going to do now, as we hit the 9 o'clock hour, we're going straight into another video that also jumped out at me and surprised me. Well, I take that back. I'm not surprised, but that jumped out at me. Take a listen to this.
Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, is alleging that financiers of the United National Congress are backing the opposition New Democratic Party. At a political rally in Kanuan earlier this week, Dr. Gonsalves said the UNC is supporting the NDP because that party has spoken about privatizing the port in Kingston. Gonsalves alleged that UNC financiers are interested in buying the land from the old port and the land surrounding the E.T. Joshua Airport.
Many of the money men behind the UNC have an interest in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And they are prepared to send operatives here. And I want to tell you that right now as I speak, operatives for the UNC from Trinidad have come here. And they're here right now as I speak.
However, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is dismissing his comments. She tells CNC3 News the investigation into his family's acquisition of 3 apartments at Victoria Keys have nothing to do with that country's elections on November 27th. She also says she has seen other CARICOM prime ministers actively campaigning and interfering in general elections outside of their country. She says the UNC does not participate in that type of, quote, deplorable and disreputable conduct, end quote. Well, Eyewitness News in St. Vincent is reporting that the Barbados...
Now, let me see if I can just play this clip here.
Party has sent members to St. Vincent to help the ruling Unity Labour Party.
And in October, the Prime Ministers of St. Lucia and Dominica both endorsed Dr. Gonsalves.
Right. So you all heard the news. You all heard the story, right? You all heard the story. You all heard the news. You all heard what the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines had to say. I just wanted to just say something quickly. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I want to just say this, really. I saw somebody saying that robberies on the priority bus route is a common thing it's nothing new. It's something that has been happening. All right, so poor topic. Robberies on the bus route is a common issue, right? So, because it's a common thing, we should just ignore it. And the minister should not be brought to answer a question concerning it. So a minister shouldn't be saying, okay, that's what happened. And if you look at the robbery that took place and you listen to the recording, you hear where a lady was saying to the guy when he took her handbag, my medication had just come from the hospital. You're good at my medication. And a lot of other persons saying, oh gosh, I had to go through that trauma, get my ID card and my driver's permit, and they just give me my ID card now. So clearly, persons who were in that maxi taxi debacle were really going through an ordeal. And first they just realize something happening all the time. There's nothing new. There's something always happening. No. We need to be a little more compassionate as what's that, Pastor? Your audio isn't that clear tonight. Okay, I don't know why. My audio is not that clear tonight. I don't know why. You have to check your settings. I don't know what's happening. If anybody has an issue with my audio, you could put it up on the chat. All right. So I think people are going through a lot of issues. All right. That is a real terrible ordeal to go through. Being robbed. We shouldn't just pacify it and somebody say audio is very good. Thank you very much. Anybody else want to tell me how the audio is singing? Because somebody is saying that my audio is not very clear tonight. Clean. Well, listen, Pastor, your audio isn't that clean tonight. I don't know. I agree with you. Okay. Agree with what? Alright, you audio good. Alright. So I don't know. Anybody else want to let me know how the audio is sounding? You can let me know. So yeah. So we look at that story just now with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and somebody say audio top of the line. Audio is great. So what that person listening to, I don't know. I don't watch this chat though. Audio is great. That's why I don't watch this chat though. You better just lead you on a different wave. Yeah. So we saw where Mr. Gonzalez, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is saying that Trinidad people are coming up, or Trinidadians are, they come up, but it's Mr. Cesar's response that killing me. If you all want to see a video of a counselor from Trinidad and Tobago, a counselor from Trinidad and Tobago, if you want to see a counselor, right, in performing in St. Vincent, a UNC counselor performing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, share the live. If I see 1,000 people on the live, I will play it. Yeah? If I see 1,000 people on that live tonight, I'm playing it for sure. The other video that jumped out at me in the news is this video. You know what video is that? Mr. Farley Augustine. Listen to Farley.
Well, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine says Tobago can expect an election date sooner than we think, but made it clear that a Christmas election is impossible under the law.
Well, earlier today, Augustine told the media Tobagonians will head to the polls early in the new year after the president issues the writ following consultation with the Prime Minister and Chief Secretary. As the THA was dissolved on November 12th, the election period automatically shifted into a legal window, giving the THA until mid-February.
No, and we can't have an election before Christmas because based on the THA Act, it cannot be less than 2 months after the House was dissolved. The House was dissolved on the 12th of November, so it cannot be before January 12th based on the law. So we just have a short window in which we call it. It must be between 12th of January and the 12th of February. That's the window. And it's just a matter of deciding on a date and advising the President on said date.
Meanwhile, political analyst Dr. Winfred James says Tobago must move to a fixed election date to stop any government from manipulating the timing of the polls. Well, still to come in the news. Parents deny
Well, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine says Tobago can expect an election date sooner than we think, but made it clear that a Christmas election is impossible under the law.
Well, earlier today, Augustine told the media Tobagonians will head to the polls early in the new year after the president issues the writ following consultation with the Prime Minister and Chief Secretary. As the THA was dissolved on November 12th, the election period automatically shifted into a legal window, giving the THA until mid-February.
No, and we can't have an election before Christmas because based on the THA Act, it cannot be less than 2 months after the House was dissolved. The House was dissolved on the 12th of November, so it cannot be before January 12th based on the law. So we just have a short window in which we call it. It must be between 12th of January and the 12th of February. That's the window. And it's just a matter of deciding on a date and advising the President on said date.
Meanwhile, political analyst Dr. Winfred James says Tobago must move to a fixed election date to stop any government from manipulating the timing of the polls. Well, still to come in the news. Parents deny
All right. So you heard Fali Augustine. Oh my goodness. So you heard Mr. Augustine, you heard Mr. Fali Augustine, and so Tobago, you all could look forward to having your elections sometime January, February, around there. You all could look to have your elections. Tobago. So those of you who are listening in Tobago, look out for your election sometime in January, February. That is what your Chief Sec said. Fali, Mr. Augustine is saying, hey, you know what I mean? Look for your elections in that time frame. Look for your elections in that time frame. So I played your video just now. I played your video a while ago of the UNC in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is claiming that the UNC finances and the UNC is over there. The response from the Prime Minister. What are your thoughts about the response by the Prime Minister? Because the Prime Minister said something, I want to play it over again. Take a listen.
Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, is alleging that financiers of the United National Congress are backing the opposition New Democratic Party. At a political rally in Kanuan earlier this week, Dr. Gonsalves said the UNC is supporting the NDP because that party has spoken about privatizing the port in Kingston. Gonsalves alleged that UNC financiers are interested in buying the land from the old port and the land surrounding the E.T. Joshua Airport.
Many of the money men behind the UNC have an interest in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And they are prepared to send operatives here. And I want to tell you that right now as I speak, operatives for the UNC from Trinidad have come here, and they're here right now as I speak.
However, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is dismissing his comments. She tells CNC3 News the investigation into his family's acquisition of 3 apartments at Victoria Keys have nothing to do with that country's elections on November 27th. She also says she has seen other CARICOM prime ministers actively campaigning and interfering in general elections outside of their country. She says the UNC does not participate in that type of quote. She also says she has seen other CARICOM prime ministers actively campaigning and interfering in general elections outside of their country. She says the UNC does not participate in that type of, quote, deplorable and disreputable conduct. And
you all heard what the Prime Minister said that the UNC don't indulge in? What did she say that the UNC don't indulge in? She said that the UNC don't indulge in that? That's what she said? Nah, man.
CNC3 News the investigation into his family's acquisition of 3 apartments at Victoria Keys have nothing to do with that country's elections on November 27th. She also says she has seen other CARICOM prime ministers actively campaigning and interfering in general elections outside of their country. She says the UNC does not participate in that type of, quote, deplorable and disreputable conduct. And she also says she has seen other CARICOM prime ministers actively campaigning and interfering in general elections outside of their country. She says the UNC does not participate in that type of, quote, deplorable and disreputable conduct, end quote.
Right, good night, Pastor Wu.
Good night, sir.
Good night. I'm calling regarding the audio quality of your program. Now,
yeah.
you sound good. The video sounds good, right? But I think the issue is the audio from the callers, right? It sounded, the output coming back on the internet sounded rather distorted.
Okay.
So it's the output. You might be hearing it fine, maybe from your monitor, but whatever is outputting to the internet, where the callers are concerned, those who call it in, it sounds rather distorted. Because I just called it just now regarding the minister's response, and I heard back my audio, and I sounded rather distorted. It sounded as though I was right up in the mic and I was shouting.
Okay.
So maybe it's the outputting from the callers that go to the internet. Maybe it's a little hot.
All right. So you check it when you come off and let me know.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Really, the person was talking about me. I wasn't sounding clear. Something like that. So you heard what the Prime Minister said. She said that the UNC does not get itself involved in that. That's what she said, right? That's what she said. She said that the UNC don't do them thing, basically. Right? That is what she said, you know. She said the UNC don't get, but earlier, is either the councillor went over there without the Prime Minister knowing. Honestly, that is what I feel. Because I have a video with the councillor performing over there, walking, campaigning too. So hear what? If you only want to see the video, just type yes on the live now.
Eyewitness News in St. Vincent is reporting that the Barbados Labour Party has said CNC3 News the investigation into his family's acquisition of 3 apartments at Victoria Keys have nothing to do with that country's elections on November 27th. She also says she has seen other CARICOM prime ministers actively campaigning and interfering in general elections outside of their country. She says the UNC does not participate in that type of, quote, deplorable and disreputable conduct, end quote. She also says she has seen other CARICOM prime ministers actively campaigning and interfering in general elections outside of their country. She says the UNC does not participate in that type of, quote, deplorable and disreputable conduct, end quote.
So you heard what the Prime Minister said. The UNC don't do that. Really, Ms. Bisasa? Ms. Bisasa, things happening under your watch and you don't know? Ms. Bisasa, things happening under your watch and you don't know? I'll take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google.
Good evening.
Pastor Google, my ears and eyes can't believe it. She said that the UNC don't do them things.
That's what she just said.
So when Guyana had the elections, how come I don't hear a story like Ian Allen and company was be there?
Well, Ian Allen, you can't say Ian Allen is she talking about the UNC party. So when I hear her say the UNC party, it means I just draw example. It means then that a councillor from the UNC party will not go to St. Vincent and campaign. Or a member of parliament. But Ian Allen, nah, Ian getting paid to do that. Ian is in St. Vincent. Ian does have people in St. Vincent too, and Ian broadcasts some of the meetings from the both sides of St. Vincent.
So what about the so-called influencers? Supposedly actually
again, she could say that the influencer and they are not party officials.
Oh, all right, okay.
So it's like me.
Wow.
All right, so it's like me. If I go over to St. Vincent and Grenadines to do work for Mr. Gonzal, is that the PNM is doing work for Mr. Gonzal?
Look at that. A case of possible deniability.
No, I wouldn't say that. What I going to play for you, then you could say, well, yes, Ms. Bisesa need to retract her statements because, look, one of your own councillors, one of your councillors has left his Burgesses Sunday and gone over to St. Vincent to campaign.
Let me guess it. That so-called councillor, did he happen to go up in San Fernando, East?
Let me play the clip now. You're trying to you're selling mouth, man. Yeah.
I have a good idea with this. I will listen to you.
All right, sir. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to play the video. People telling me play the video. I'm going to play the video. I ain't usually 1,000, but I will play the video. I will play the video. Take a look at this, Olia. Take a look at this.
Where is our Prime Minister? Where is our Prime Minister? Where's the Prime Minister? This is our Prime Minister. Give him a round of applause. We endorse your Rosie Cole. We want you to stick to your promises. We want performance. You say you're going to deal with the youth then? Going after that, right? Yeah. We want them to that. You ready to see what? You ready to see what? You ready to see what?
Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister, Ms. Kamala Pusabi-Sessa, said to you, just now I played for you a clip where the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago said that the UNC don't do that. But the gentleman in the white jacket, the gentleman who's standing up next to the opposition in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, he what? He's what? He's a councillor. He's a councillor for Marbella West. Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon, Pastor.
Good evening, sir.
Why Mr. Saab is a believe she can like everybody? I believe she could talk and people will be fact check her or people will be go and check and do these videos. What year she thinks she will be living in?
I don't know, you tell me.
Because you and now say an outsider that the UNC doesn't do that. And we have a man who fight and win a seat. So he fight and win a seat. He on stage. He are next known after some share that, which is one of his best friends. On the stage.
It's three of them. Swappy, Swappy, and what the next one name?
Azaria.
Thank you.
They don't have no country there. The thing, they have no country there. So why is the other she can come and lie? What's your job is? You have big ones. You say you are the leader saying you don't all the party don't take to involve or something like that. But here we have a man who has seat on the stage next time following for the job. What is one of you? Everybody is a supporter. What you want? Let's not say anything. I will solid. I will leave it because she's the one God. What is wrong with the man?
Thank you very much, caller. Yep. I had to play that. The caller was supposed to call me back and tell me how the callers and this song did now, you know. If they're singing better or if they're still singing hot. Still singing loud. You need to call me back and let me know. Message me on the WhatsApp and let me know if the callers are sounding good now or if they're still coming through too hot. But yeah. So Ms. Bisasa, that statement you made, that statement that you told Trinidad and Tobago just a while ago, that you told CNC3 to tell us, clearly you don't have all your information, all your eggs not lining up. Right? Okay? Ms. Bisasa, all your eggs not lining up. Something wrong. Something in right, Miss Bisasa. You need to check that out again, all right? You need to check that out again. You need to pull in, you need to rein in Macamillion. That's what you need to rein in. You need to rein in your counselor who over there. That's what you need to do. What the Burgesses of Sanford and of Marbella were saying. Will you see him? Will you talk to him this week? Okay. I'll leave that there. So, shooting in the spotlight again is HDC. HDC in the spotlight again in the news. Last night we listened to this. Listen to this, eh? Last night we listened to this.
Service Association is calling for the reinstatement of 26 HEC workers whose contracts were not renewed, but HEC's chairman described them as surplus to requirements.
Feroz Khan likened the HEC to a sick cow burdened by ticks, saying that reducing what he sees as a bloated workforce is necessary to give the organization a chance to recover financially. The workers were assigned to the HEC's subsidiary Construction Company Limited. CNC3 News understands that although their contracts had expired, many were informally assured they would be renewed. The PSA's Felicia Thomas said she was shocked by the move and will be asking this week for the workers to be reinstated. But Khan said when the CCL was formed, there were 13 people originally assigned. However, it ballooned to 68. He could not say if more workers will follow suit. However, he did say that the CCL was ineffective and the HEC lost $700 million last year. As a result, he said decisions must be made to ensure its sustainability.
So that was yesterday. The chairman say people are like, what is the right word he used? That leech. Something he used. Right? The chairman say that. But listen to the chairman in the news tonight. If you have a friend working in HGC, tell them tune in. If you work in HGC and you miss it, listen. Earlier, listen to HGC chairman tonight.
One man is now in police custody following a maxi-taxi robbery along the priority bus route yesterday. Police said charges have not yet been...
Oh gosh, that's the wrong clip. Sorry. I'm going to play the right clip. Let me see if I can find the right clip, eh? Where is it? Let me take this call. Let's call a calling. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, Pastor Google. No, you're singing good. The caller that, not you. You singing good. The callers who call in just now, he's singing good too. So I think you're on par. Oh, one thing I wanted to make, the point I wanted to make though is, Mr. Gonzalez is the only man I see right now who could talk to Maduro, and this woman trying to make split between Maduro and looking to cause. If this man could talk to Mr. Maduro for us, we still have something to deal with. I ain't gonna tell you more. You know what I'm talking about. Bye. Good night.
All right, sir. All right, so let me play this clip for you. Tonight in the news in HGC. All right, let me apologize just now for the clip I played. So let me play this clip for you that happened tonight. I want you all to listen, listen. Please listen. Number one. Number two, if you have a friend, I'm going to tell you a secret. If you have a friend working ATC, tell him, come on Constructive Talk. You hear me? I'm telling you a secret. If you have a friend working HDC, call them, send them the link, and tell them, listen to Pastor Google.
The Housing Development Corporation will end its contracts with at least 50 maintenance providers and their employees by year's end. And its chairman has signalled the possibility of further staff reductions at the corporation as Feroz Khan looks to reverse what he says is a decade of severe financial mismanagement.
In an exclusive interview with CNC3 News, Chairman Feroz Khan sought to paint a picture of the corporation's current financial predicaments, which he said has now led him to take certain corrective actions. The chairman of the Housing Development Corporation says the entity is in a bad place financially. On top of losing $700 million in fiscal 2025, Chairman Feroz Khan said there's a $40 million overhead bill he's struggling to pay. Of course, a significant part of that overhead is salary and wages, which he said is around 15 or 16 million a month. Now, Khan said he has to pay his staff, but he prefers to have a smaller organization to be able to meet those payments. The HEC chairman said the financial hole was not dug overnight, but rather over the last 10 years under the former PNM administration. But how did the corporation reach this financial state? Well, Khan said homes were being constructed for $1.6 million and sold for only $600,000. He also said maintenance providers were charging exorbitant sums for work like cutting grass, sometimes 6 times the market value. And he even showed us this document where a sewer treatment plant for a Borneo West development ballooned from around $3 million to $34 million. Now, he's made it clear that the 50 maintenance contractors will not have their contracts renewed, as he claims the official tendering process was not followed. Severing ties with them and their associated employees will be done before the end of this year, and he expects to save around $10 million a month with that move. Instead, he said some of the 400 daily paid workers on his pay sheet can do that job instead. Now, apart from the 400 daily paid workers, there are 365 monthly paid employees comprising of about 300 on contracts. Of those 300, already 26 have seen their contracts not renewed. When CNC3 News asked Khan if he will be looking at downsizing further, he said it's not his preferred option, but it's also not outside the realm of possibility. The chairman said it's a tough business decision, but going forward, when the contract for an employee comes to an end, it will not be renewed as easily as they were before. He said a 2-year contract is a 2-year contract, and there's no obligation for the HDC to extend it further. Now, the PSA is the union for these workers. President Felicia Thomas could not be reached for comment, but earlier this week she said the union was shocked by the decision not to renew the contracts of the 26 workers and added that the union will demand their reinstatement.
Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, is alleging that the Housing Development Corporation will end its contracts with at least 50 maintenance providers and their employees by year's end. And its chairman has signalled the possibility of further staff reductions at the corporation as Feroz Khan looks to reverse what he says is a decade of severe financial mismanagement.
In an exclusive interview with CNC3 News, Chairman Feroz Khan sought to paint a picture of the corporation's current financial predicaments, which he said has now led him to take certain corrective actions. The chairman of the Housing Development Corporation says the entity is in a bad place financially. On top of losing $700 million in fiscal 2025, Chairman Feroz Khan said there's a $40 million overhead bill he's struggling to pay. Of course, a significant part of that overhead is salary and wages, which he said is around 15 or 16 million a month. Now, Khan said he has to pay his staff, but he prefers to have a smaller organization to be able to meet those payments. The HEC chairman said the financial hole was not dug overnight, but rather over the last 10 years under the former PNM administration. But how did the corporation reach this financial state? Well, Khan said homes were being constructed for $1.6 million and sold for only $600,000. He also said maintenance providers were charging exorbitant sums for work like cutting grass, sometimes 6 times the market value. And he even showed us this document where a sewer treatment plant for a Borneo West development ballooned from around $3 million to $34 million. Now, he's made it clear that the 50 maintenance contractors will not have their contracts renewed, as he claims the official tendering process was not followed. Severing ties with them and their associated employees will be done before the end of this year, and he expects to save around $10 million a month with that move. Instead, he said some of the 400 daily paid workers on his pay sheet can do that job instead. Now, apart from the 400 daily paid workers, there are 365 monthly paid employees comprising of about 300 on contracts. Of those 300, already 26 have seen their contracts not renewed. When CNC3 News asked Khan if he will be looking at downsizing further, he said it's not his preferred option, but it's also not outside the realm of possibility. 365 monthly paid employees comprising of about 300 on contracts. Of those 300, already 26 have seen their contracts not renewed. When CNC3 News asked Khan if he will be looking at downsizing further, he said it's not his preferred option, but it's also not outside the realm of possibility. The chairman said it's a tough business decision, but going forward, when the contract for an employee comes to an end, it will not be renewed as easily as they were before. He said a 2-year contract is a 2-year contract, and there's no obligation for the HDC to extend it further. Now, the PSA is the union for these workers. President Felicia Thomas could not be reached for comment, but earlier this week she said the union was shocked by the decision not to renew the contracts of the 26 workers and added that the union will demand their reinstatement.
Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Threatened over 500 jobs in HDC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon. Threatened over 500 jobs in HDC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon.
Hello, good evening, caller.
Sorry, what's it? Pastor? Pastor, you were still in the pastor. I'm going to do that now, Pastor. You're still in there? Pastor, I didn't answer this, sir. You are not, you are you surprised that the media can't find someone for comment? Pastor? Hello? Pastor, we will answer me, please. Pastor, we will answer you, please. I was she's going to demand the real but she could demand anything for anybody. What is this? Come on. Yeah, this is not coming there. You could demand. You could demand. What else come out and see here? It was coming there because when you want to lie down with that party. And that's what they come government. You could do it what you have to. You have to get because you're along with them. If you along with them, are you not supposed to be careful because you come up big and bold as you on your post. It's a reliance. So you see power they can do it. They can be what they want.
Have a good evening, sir. Have a good evening, sir. Have a good evening, sir. Have a good evening.
The Housing Development Corporation will end its contracts with at least maintenance providers and the employees by year's end. And its chairman has signalled the possibility of further staff reductions at the corporation as Feroz Khan looks to reverse what he says is a decade of severe financial mismanagement.
In an exclusive interview with CNC3 News, Chairman Feroz Khan sought to paint a picture of the corporation's current financial predicaments, which he said has now led him to take certain corrective actions. The chairman of the Housing Development Corporation says the entity is in a bad place financially. On top of losing $700 million in fiscal 2025, Chairman Feroz Khan said there's a $40 million overhead bill he's struggling to pay. Of course, a significant part of that overhead is salary and wages, which he said is around $15 or $16 million a month. Now, Khan said he has to pay his staff, but he prefers to have a smaller organization to be able to meet those payments. The AGC chairman said the financial hole was not dug overnight, but rather over the last 10 years under the former PNM administration. But how did the corporation reach this financial state? Well, Khan said homes were being constructed for $1.6 million and sold for only $600,000. He also
So, AGC is to build homes, low-income homes, for citizens, as Anna Roberts say, with taxpayers' dollars. So the government will build a home for you for maybe, let me say, 700,000 or $1 million, and because it is for citizens who can't go on the normal market to buy a home, the government subsidize the home and sell you it at a lower cost. The AGC minister said it in the parliament. He said that AGC needs to be profitable. Let's go back and listen.
Said maintenance providers were charging exorbitant sums for work like cutting grass, sometimes 6 times the market value. And he even showed us this document where a sewer treatment plant for Abonne West development ballooned from around $3 million to $34 million. Now, he's made it clear that the 50 maintenance contractors will not have their contracts renewed, as he claims the official tendering process was
maintenance. That means, does that mean, should I ask? I'm asking a question now. I am asking a question for a friend. Does that mean that if you have an existing garbage collection contract, it's going to end? Because I know that garbage collection contract is coming to an end at the end of December. Does it mean that those persons fall into that category? Because you talk about grass cutting, so that means that the daily paid workers only relax on yourself in AGC, only job sure, only job secure, because you go find work for only to do. But garbage collection, are you saying, Mr. Chairman, that you are going to sever ties with garbage collectors? Are you going to pay them? Mr. Chairman, you are owing. Mr. Chairman, you are owing. Mr. Chairman, you are owing. You are owing garbage collectors. Could you pay them, please? And thanks, Mr. Chairman. Could you pay them, please, and thanks? Huh? Well, let's continue. Let's listen on.
Was not followed. Severing ties with them and their associated employees will be done before the end of this year, and he expects to save around $10 million a month with that move. Instead, he said some of the 400 daily paid workers on his pay sheet can do that job instead. Now, apart from the 400 daily paid workers, there are 365 monthly paid employees comprising of about 300 on contracts. Of those 300, already 26 have seen their contracts not renewed. When CNC3 News asked Khan if he will be looking at downsizing further, he said it's not his preferred option, but it's also not outside the realm of possibility. The chairman said it's a tough business decision, but going forward, when the contract for an employee comes to an end, it will not be renewed as easily as they were before. He said a 2-year contract is a 2-year contract, and there's no obligation for the HDC to extend it further. Now, the PSA is the union for these workers. President Felicia Thomas could not be reached for comment, but earlier this week she said the union was shocked by the decision not to renew the contracts of the 26 workers and added that the union will demand their reinstatement.
Threatened over 500 jobs in HDC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon. Threatened over 500 jobs in HDC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, pleasant good night, Pastor. Good night. Pastor, I have a question here, right? What the HGC CU, right? He talking about the jobs as one where he might have to cut jobs, right? So that's the operational cost of the HGC, right? That's what he referred to. Also, he referred to the HGC maintenance fund as well. No, the HGC maintenance fund is what you will be talking about, the garbage collection and all that, right? Why I'm asking that? Because you see, during the standing committee in the budget, right, when it was asked to them if they're going to slash the budget by 50%, so that's $30 million decrease, right? They were asking them that. That is the HGC slash fund. Now, the other night you play a clip where Alexander come and say, Philip Alexander said they're going to give out 600 houses by Christmas. But how that taking place? Because remember, I am reading from what I am seeing here now. I'm reading something from the finance committee, from what the PNM was asking questions, and when they were pressed to the questions to the ministers, he said that we will do magic. Trinidad and Tobago does not need magic. We need to have competent leadership, sound planning, and real solutions, not magic. Right? So what I'm saying again, the HCC fund is slashed by 50%. That's a $330 million decrease. So that's what you're talking about. Other, you have to look at the other things in the HCC, according to the finance committee, the 100 million cut from the housing sector. So now, as I'm asking you my first questions, so they're going to cut staff inside the HGC too? So how the HGC reached to this stage? Because, Pastor, I don't want to, I will tell you why. Because beginning of the year, from January to 2024, right, when the HGC had their accounts, their audit for the year, from January 2024 to February 2024, a grand total of 1,542 housing allocations were made, Pastor, in North, East, South, and Central, right? When North, East, the figures were in North, 168, East, 321, South, 367. I have other figures there. I wouldn't call now. Other callers want to comment. But that is the financial audit of the HGC. So how could the HBC was doing so well under a stressed economy, where the economy was trying to balance itself out, and now after 6 months, you're telling me that the slash fund, that is the fund you're talking about, is decreased by 50%, $30 million, right? And on top of that, a reduction of housing to build. And now you're telling me that the staffing, the in-house runnings of the HGC under pressure too? In 6 months, Pastor? And you have 3 ministers there? 3 ministers? Well, as I always say, yes, we like to rock back on the hammock and say there is no weak cup of tea. All right, Pastor, that is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, leave me alone, eh? Leave me alone. Leave the I alone. Only leave moi alone. Seriously, you know? Leave me alone. Seriously. That be, I don't get involved. Oh, gosh. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Hello, you live?
Hello, good evening, Pastor Google.
Good evening,
to
ma'am.
you and your loyal listeners. Pastor Google, you know what is jumping out at me in all of what is happening there? Is the chairman and HR specialist. The chairman is saying that contracts will not be renewed. How the chairman thinks that he alone is making these decisions about contracts? That's how contracts are renewed or not renewed. Pastor Google, I'm confused. I always thought that contracts, you had IR specifics as to whether contracts will be renewed or will not be renewed. But the chairman comes to the public and says, we overstaffed and we are renewing this contract. The contract for all was we are renewing that. So HR here has no say at all in how these contracts are being renewed. Somebody need to help me. I think I must be getting old and dotish. Because all my years in HR, I understand that the HR person is who goes through the contracts, who look at the performance of the contractors, who does what has to be done and says, okay, you are not performing, you're not performing. Oh, okay, you're under par. You give them a chance to come up to par. And if they don't come up to par, then they say, well, you tell them, well, you know, within 6 months, you don't think we will have to send you home. But this chairman just gets up there and promptly boasts of how much people not going to contracts, not going to be renewed. He didn't even say on the advisement of the HR committee, you know, he has already made a decision that he is good. These people contract not going to be renewed. And hello, I'm going to tell you something. I hear you whistling. I want to whistle with you too. Because I tell you something. Some of those same people whose contracts not going to be renewed were the people who were dancing and saying, yellow is the code.
You know, I would like to find that video. You know what I would like to find, Kola? There's a video when the ministers and they arrived at HTC, how they were clapping and rain and happy crying out, yellow is the code.
Yellow is the code. So now I want to whistle like you. But you know what I'm saying? They're all human beings like me. And this is Christmas time, and people have children. And you know, people like to see the happiness and the whatever, the camaraderie around Christmas time. And this is what is bothering me over the yellow is the code. If this had happened for Carnival, I ain't taking them home, you know, I let them take the rush and go down the road. You understand what I'm saying? But I simply cannot sit here and be comfortable hearing a chairman of a board saying that these contracts will not be renewed with such authority, and not saying that I will take it on the advisement of the HR department. He fired the HR department too. Apparently, he's doing all the who not coming back, who coming back. They don't need an HR department. He's sending the whole HR department home. They better take note. Pastor Google, have a good night.
Wow. Wow, eh? Wow. What do you call that, say? Where is the HR? Where is the HR role here? Anybody could answer that for me? Anybody know what the HR department in HGC is?
Threatened over 500 jobs in HGC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon. Threatened over 500 jobs in HGC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon.
Of the one he had, make the wrong selection, and he end up sad. Crave all does lose all, so the story goes. And since that's the moral, I trust him and also. If you fool me once, shame on you. If you fool me twice, the shame is on me. You feel a soft dance, it's like history and deja vu. To become entranced by the sweetness and poetry. When you ran the treasury, kickback was at large. Edgy and edgy in waiting, but end up on charge. Won't show me like jacket to jump on your butt. 3 times is a habit. Haven't you my butt? So you can fool me once.
Hello, good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, Pastor. The man feels right. I don't know where they come. I don't know who they say, but he's totally right. And everything he says, no. What I'm trying to share, Pastor, that's the career you're not showing there. You know when I was Pastor?
During the election campaign, sir, in April.
That was March the 16th. The 15th, because remember, I had a chat. So I would have known when the broadcasting, the full massive that go to the rallies.
Yeah, but I want the video with when Annie Roberts and they reach into HGC. There's a video. You have it. Look for it now.
I have it. I have a chance.
You have it. Look for the one two when they reach Wassa.
Yeah, well,
and it was kissing Pararat.
The same thing happened when Barry come, sir. Now, Pastor, I am telling you, I am just like the lady before me. I am not glad people go home because you want me like me, the chair, like me, that everything. So I mean, I am not glad, but what I'm saying is that when you see how boastful around the channel, because he knows he have the union, but he want them. They can't come they can't come to tell you anything because he have the so-called union, but he want them. You feel like you don't go from there and make any noise? They can't. They can't because you know what? The compromise itself, and that's what people are saying. You don't serve the whole union to no one party. You don't have to stay away from politics. So that's not a whole government. You can go and more or less fight for workers. You always talking. You really believe that girl could want to tell you anything? He know he actually what he watching. She can't go and talk to you because that's the thing he know about you that we don't know. We feel he know and I don't want to on your show. But he don't know money pass, who got money, when they got money, how they got money, how much money they get. Why should he answer because he knows things and he knows she check out from them. He know that why should he can come to the public and talk how he's talking because he knows for a fact If there's one person can't come somebody, it's she. Because she do exactly what he or she. She can't say one and say, if she doesn't talk about what she would demand. Demand what? You have no say. Because you don't come and say one, you have no say. And you said that clever showing that was March 15. That's March 15, eh? We in the same year. What it is? Pastor?
Today's the what?
What is it?
Today's the 20th. Today's the 20th.
Of November. Same year. With the year in the same year. That could be your showing the sheet. That was March 15th. We the same year. The year in the and the whole way on. But we know for a fact that girl can't have money. Now he come to the table call it subway. And somebody he's a go to HR. He come and share and say, who going home? Who going home? Who going home staying? Because he knows. He have the union right where he was. Right where he was. They can't come back and say nothing to him. Because they sell themselves. But I feel the kind of with a coincidence, you can't reach you over command because you can't come back. What's she going to say? What can she say? What's she going to say? She can't say nothing. And now, part of it before go. I know like secret.
I'm listening.
Hello?
I'm listening, sir.
You know this week on chance, right?
The chance for you?
Yeah. I was chance for this week. I was trying to put this week. I the chance for some back place. I found it. There was study show to my said, the other one, I'm talking. I'm certain radio, I'm certain chat. I got chance for Tuesday. Also, that looked good. Also, yes, I was chance for. That was after the one of the things already. But I chance for the office now. I was expecting.
All right, man. Yeah, man.
I want to start by reading a quote for you that is trending online now. Someone sent it to me and I saw it so many times. I think it's good for us to read this quote. I'm sure when I start to read it, you will be familiar with it. It says, out of hatred for the cockroach, the ants voted for the insecticide. Out of hatred for the cockroach, the ants voted for the insecticide. They all died, big on in the tail, including the housefly that didn't even vote. They all died, including the housefly that didn't even vote. It says an African proverb, but it could be a Trinidadian and Tobagonian proverb. It is so true of our situation here today.
I'm taking your calls. We're talking about HTC. We're looking at what's happening in HTC. And I'm taking your calls. 464-7003. 464-7003. What is your thoughts on what we're talking about that is happening in HTC? Workers are being threatened. Or if you listen carefully, the chairman, never the minister talking. The chairman talking. The chairman. Listen to the chairman disrespectful statements yesterday.
Service Association is calling for the reinstatement of 26 HEC workers whose contracts were not renewed, but HEC's chairman described them as surplus to requirements.
Feroz Khan likened the HEC to a sick cow burdened by ticks, saying that reducing what he sees as a bloated workforce is necessary to give the organization a chance to recover financially. The workers were assigned to the HEC's subsidiary Construction Company Limited. CNC3 News understands that although their contracts had expired, many were informally assured they would be renewed. The PSA's Felicia Thomas said she was shocked by the move and will be asking this week for the workers to be reinstated. But Khan said when the CCL was formed, there were 13 people originally assigned. However, it ballooned to 68. He could not say if more workers will follow suit. However, he did say that the CCL was ineffective and the HEC lost $700 million last year. As a result, he said decisions must be made to ensure its sustainability.
I don't know if I could even ask for an assessment, but how far you feel that the government is along?
We're very far along. The Prime Minister sent a message to all of us. Find jobs. Look at in your ministries where there are vacancies. You would see ministries publishing daily education, healthcare, housing. We've been putting out job vacancies for people to try and absorb as many as possible. But I want to ask a question. Why do we have so many people unemployed on make-work schemes in Trinidad and Tobago, and we have 150,000 Venezuelans living here? So they're doing well, they're prospering, they're living, so obviously they're working. So our 12, 15,000 people that in these make-work schemes and stuff obviously been pushed out. In the Ministry of Housing, I said this in the Senate, in the months leading up to the election, government ministers instructed the person responsible for estate management to hire 600 people. Where? He said, where? They said, find the work. So he find work for them. They come back a week later and tell him it's not 600, it's 2,300. And he said, but there's no material, there are no tools, there are no jobs for them. Pay them. We come into office with these 2,300 people having been employed by the HDC and the Ministry of Housing and no money to pay them. They didn't have money to vote for them, and we had to find that. Minister Lee convened the management of the HDC and said, no matter what, you all hire these people, we have to pay these people. But those are examples of the political manipulation of state agencies in the lead up to the election, handing out housing keys, ministers driving around with keys and giving it to people. You vote for me, take a house. That is insane. That is not how a country is supposed to be run. That's misuse of taxpayers' funds. That's misbehavior in public office, and more of that going to come out. I know the wheels of justice move slow, but they're moving. And you're going to see at least one government minister is going to be before the courts for that. And you've seen that through the process, and the government is engaging persons.
You mean a past government minister?
Past government minister.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, a former government minister.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that for yourself. I mean, again, I am not trying to kick a damaged dog. They've done this to themselves. They put themselves here. They thought that they were going to win this election. They did things that, I mean, they wanted their operatives to shred stuff in the Ministry of Housing. They did things that were criminal misbehavior. And the wheels of justice are turning. But to
The Housing Development Corporation will end its contracts with at least 15 maintenance providers and their employees by year's end. And its chairman has signalled the possibility of further staff reductions at the corporation as Feroz Khan looks to reverse what he says is a decade of severe financial mismanagement.
In an exclusive interview with CNC3 News, Chairman Feroz Khan sought to paint a picture of the corporation's current financial predicaments, which he said has now led him to take certain corrective actions.
The chairman of the Housing Development Corporation says the entity is in a bad place financially.
On top of losing $700 million in fiscal 2025, Chairman Feroz Khan said there's a $40 million overhead bill he's struggling to pay. Of course, a significant part of that overhead is salary and wages, which he said is around 15 or 16 million a month. Now, Khan said he has to pay his staff, but he prefers to have a smaller organization to be able to meet those payments. The agency chairman said the financial hole was not dug overnight, but rather over the last 10 years under the former PNM administration. But how did the corporation reach this financial state? Well, Khan said homes were being constructed for $1.6 million and sold for only $600,000. He also said maintenance providers were charging exorbitant sums for work like cutting grass, sometimes 6 times the market value. And he even showed us this document where a sewer treatment plant for a Borneo West development ballooned from around $3 million to $34 million. Now, he's made it clear that the 50 maintenance contractors will not have their contracts renewed, as he claims the official tendering process was not followed. Severing ties with them and their associated employees will be done before the end of this year, and he expects to save around $10 million a month with that move. Instead, he said some of the 400 daily paid workers on his pay sheet can do that job instead. Now, apart from the 400 daily paid workers, there are 365 monthly paid employees comprising of about 300 on contracts. Of those 300, already 26 have seen their contracts not renewed. When CNC3 News asked Khan if he will be looking at downsizing further, he said it's not his preferred option, but it's also not outside the realm of possibility. The chairman said it's a tough business decision, but going forward, when the contract for an employee comes to an end, it will not be renewed as easily as they were before. He said a 2-year contract is a 2-year contract, and there's no obligation for the HDC to extend it further. Now, the PSA is the union for these workers. President Felicia Thomas could not be reached for comment, but earlier this week she said the union was shocked by the decision not to renew the contracts of the 26 workers and added that the union will demand their reinstatement.
You see, when Keisha stay home in Tobago West, Savitri does go out in Sipari and vote Kamala. When they're encouraging you to stay home, them going out and vote Kamala, they don't care if she hop and she stand up so. They're going and vote she. They don't care who had to lift she into the podium. They're going and vote for her. And then they want to tell you that you're a cult, that we just vote PNM. If they send a crap, we vote in PNM. But if, no matter what Kamala do, they're going and vote she. See you? You see, when Keisha stay home in Tobago West, Savitri does go out in Sipari and vote Kamala. When they're encouraging you to stay home, them going out and vote Kamala, they don't care if she hop and she stand up so. They're going and vote she. They don't care who had to lift she into the podium. They're going and vote for her. And then they want to tell you that you're a cult, that we just vote PNM. If they send a crap, we vote in PNM. But if, no matter what Kamala do, they're going and vote she. See you?
Do you remember that? Do you remember that? I want to remind earlier. I want to remind some of you, boy. I think you only calls, 464-7003. 464-7003. Call me now and tell me what is your thoughts. HGC workers, PSA. I should call Oral, but it's too late now. Should I call Oral earlier today to hear Oral's view on what's happening? But it's too late now to call Mr. Saunders. Too late. But I will try and call him. I will try and call Mr. Saunders, don't worry.
Pastor Google, Alexander didn't see the ships. So he didn't see the robbery. He don't watch social media, he don't watch news. He didn't see the robbery. That is what we're going on with all of them. None of them ain't seeing nothing when it happened.
Hello, good evening, Pastor Google.
Good evening, sir.
Oh my God, your show is so great tonight, to tell you the truth. I'm really enjoying it. You know, I have to look at, we are students of the Bible.
Yes.
I talk about people going down like unthinking horse to battle. You ever hear that too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, you go on and you put your finger. Yeah, really study what people telling you what will happen. Now that thing hitting home now, you know what I mean? Now people concerned. Now, a clip here play for the night that I wanted to hear was Dr. Rowley. When he talk about all you fighting for is, all you get is, but I might be the last one, all you get, all you that is the one I want to hear.
Kola! Ole, that nice! Kola, what you saying? What you...
How we was following?
Yeah.
Remember we was following this thing throughout the election. You know?
Yeah.
There's people who was listening to yellow, the code and all kind of nonsense. Yeah, so I'm trying to share. So, no, that is all I want to hear. Yeah, so.
Kola, we're not supposed to be laughing, eh?
But we will do, boy. We will do. We done any mess already.
Kola, we're not supposed to be laughing.
So we have to try and have some longevity and try to stick it out. It's really good.
Longevity,
yeah,
you see, you know?
Talking to we don't know. We have a proxy prime minister or something. I don't know what's going on.
Kola.
Yeah, so let me see what's going on. I don't know how to say it tonight, boy.
Thank you.
It was Dr. Rowley. What was Dr. Rowley was doing what that this lady doing now? Yeah, son. They are hanging to the cross. Yeah, son. He wouldn't even get, like, the when Jesus was touching the cross, he fall and a man was to touch it for him. Dr. Rowley tore that cross right through.
By himself. By himself.
Okay, take care.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
The man say you want to hear a clip. I'll find the clip for the man. Take a listen to it.
They're coming outside the Prime Minister's office every week and they're shouting at me in case I have it in my pocket to give them. Well, let me tell them tonight, many of you who enjoy that back pay, who's shouting for that back pay, you may get the back pay and lose your job. They're coming outside the Prime Minister's office every week and they're shouting at me in case I have it in my pocket to give them. Well, let me tell them tonight, many of you who enjoy that back pay, who's shouting for that back pay, you may get the back pay and lose your job.
Hello, good evening, caller.
Good evening, Pastor Google. I'm calling from the United States, New York.
Good evening, sir. Thank you very
I'm
much.
listening to your program.
Yeah.
I'm listening to your program.
Yeah.
On the big screen, and I'm thinking, where has the militancy of the workers gone, or the people of Trinidad and Tobago gone?
Because the unions are the ones. Nobody unions are the ones that I will play. Finish your contribution. I'll play for you why they are not militant anymore. Caller, the unions have been bought into this government.
No. But Pastor Google, let's be serious. Poor people have been fired out of a job. Their children are suffering. They know who are the ministers responsible for that, and they are allowing them to walk on the streets unhindered.
No, I can't allow you. Well, I can't.
I don't care what is. This is the only way they will respect people like this. And I keep saying, and I will continue to say this. The union are nowhere on the scenes. It is time that the people do what they have to do to get the satisfaction. They need to tackle those people. Go at them who prevent them from being unemployed and on the streets right now. I'm sorry, this is what I'm protesting. This is what I am asking them to do. Those who are so affected. Have a great day.
I hear your caller, but these people, remember these people voted for these people, you know. While I hear you and I understand what you're saying, listen to this caller.
You see all that talk about my party. Stop that now. And I want to close and send a message to the red. Because they say I didn't sit down in the seat good yet when I made the statement that my first objective is to remove an oppressive government from office. Well, let me tell you something. I sit down good. And yellow is the code.
And that's the PSA president. That's the PSA president. The caller asking if they were the unions. That's what the caller asking me, you know. Where are the unions? How come they're not militant anymore? Really, caller? You want to know why they're not militant anymore? Okay, well, I'll show you why. I'll show you why they're not militant anymore. Take a look at this on a big screen TV in New York City. Take a listen to this.
I am not interested in working with the NDA. I've made that very clear. So I'll give you that answer clear. I am not interested in working with the NDA. I have a reason and cause. The NDA has been very disrespectful to the elected members of my executive. I don't even know if they have an elected executive. But the elected members of the UNC, they have been very disrespectful, and I cannot see how we can work with them in that kind of scenario. So today I make it very clear, as leader of this party, I will not engage my party with the NDA, and we had that discussion earlier today with my executive. We will not be engaging with the NDA for this 2025 general election.
But you see who they're engaging with, though? Hello, good evening.
Hello. Good evening, Pastor. Well, them so-called unions that the guy talking about, them as opportunists and sellouts and eat a fool. You're just saying about themselves, so it's a waste of time, Pastor Google. But the question is, what about the other so-called civil society NGOs? Where the so-called pastors, the voices that just accustomed hearing?
The pastors say the pastors and they are saying to pray.
So where's Clive Dutton on them?
But just told you what they said, caller. The pastors and they are saying that you need to pray for the government.
Oh, pray for the government. Okay. What about the so-called voices that was that were open? Where's Kirkwick? Where's
Kirkwick after he lost his seat in the 2015, I believe, elections, Kirkwick is no longer Kirkwick fixing TNT is no longer an NGO that exists anymore.
Oh, okay.
After 2015, you have never heard from Kirkwick.
Okay. What about this boy, Baker's son?
He just be on the former station I was on. He is a member of the UNC.
Okay. So I guess he's supporting the government stance on bringing the army here.
Well, I don't know. I don't listen to him. You need to listen to him and where I came from.
Okay. And what about in Tobago side? What about so-called voices like Watson, Dukan, Kizel and them and people and them?
Well, Kizel has been making her videos against the government. I must be fair to her. Kizel Jackson has been making her videos against the government. Right. The other gentleman from Tobago, I saw on Dr. Rowley's page where this man, I forget his name now. Forget the man's name now. Dr. Rowley does be posting his videos.
Okay, no, but I want to talk about the Wati.
Who's Wati?
The PDP man.
Who?
The PDP man.
PDP?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Mr. Duke, Pastor Google.
Watson Duke?
Yeah.
Watson Duke is trying to get his party together to run for Tobago House of Assembly.
Oh. So he's not talking about the issue going on right now.
So if the caller being unfair to the man is trying to get his party organized to run to get Tobago seats. That is what Watson Duke doing right now. Watson Duke is focused on trying to put back together a party for the Tobago election.
So, nothing in Trinidad and Tobago is not of concern to him at this time.
Well, I can't. I not member of party, I just telling you what I see going on. I don't know what. As I said to you, we don't. If you want to know those things, you have to go on the CPLM page. Just like how I would see things from Kizel Jackson. You said that you're not hearing from Kizel. Kizel is doing her videos. This man who was very critical of the PNM is now doing videos to be very critical of the UNC and Fali. So there are people out there who are making their voices heard.
Okay. All right then, that's so good. I just that's so good. You have a good night, Jess.
Okay, sir. In all fairness to Kizel Jackson, she has been out there. Kizel talking plenty out there. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night. Yes, Pastor. Good night once again. I just want to make a little contribution, final one for the night. And it concerns this. Pastor, tomorrow, Miss Felicia Thompson is
Thomas.
Miss Thomas. Sorry, correct. We're going to have a meeting tomorrow with the CPU. Something that was questioning to me. Remember, in a video she posted the agenda of the meeting tomorrow. On a video she did. And she is saying that in the meeting, one of the things they're going to talk about is the state of the economy. The CPU is going to give them an idea of the state of the economy. And her quick response was, we all know the state of the economy. That was a kind of a sheer alertness to me. I was like, but if you know the state of the economy, then you know that you're not supposed to be getting no 10%, right? But that is me. Another person from the UNC, Dr. Suraj Brahmachan, put out a post and asked...
Suraj Brahmachan?
Yeah, he put out a post and he was asking, because he answered his own question, right? He was asking if people observe that there's a regression in the economy of in Trinidad and Tobago. So he said he has noticed that he asked hardwares, they say they are making money, they see drops of sales. He asked 1 or 2 variety stores, the same thing. He also commented on TCL. They have noticed they have a drop in cement, 25% for the year. All that was on the post. So in the second quarters of the year, right, that's TCL. So they all alerting that there's a drop taking place. Now, the one with Felicia is very, very important. I find that was very cunning of her. Very cunning and deceitful. But it comes back, and I really want to share this to your viewers, that anyone who was paying attention to the press conference the PNM had a couple of weeks ago, Senator Dan Paul Singh alerted us and told us that November is considered a dry month. It's a dry month in finances, in the finance system in Trinidad and Tobago. He said also the government right now cannot go over because they have already exceeded the borrowing limit. So all these complaints that you're hearing, the CPO saying we're having a review of the economy, right? Suraj Ramnathan. It also gives you an indication, as Senator Dan Paul alerted us to, that the government may very well come before Christmas and ask for extra money. This is the first time in history this will be happening. Normally it will take place in mid-year review. But it is apparent so. And why I'm telling you this in closing now, you know me, I am from south of Trinidad. And I had to talk to somebody today in the Penal Debe area. They own a store. And they were telling me Christmas sales has already been looking bleak. Things are looking bleak. So far, they told me that they may have to reduce staffers' pay at this time. So all of these things alerts that this is a dry season. November is a dry season. So all this thing with HSC, people letting go, is alert us what is happening. You know what is going to happen, as Mr. Dan Paul further said, that you're going to have the standards going to drop. Our ratings going to drop. When the ratings drop, we get into a devaluation. And after devaluation, I think what we may be seeing is that we go into the IMF, possibly somewhere after Carnival, maybe April, May month. That is maybe what is looking on the horizon. And as a young person, that is my calculation. If anybody wants to call in and express, they could go ahead. But this is how we play harden, and we didn't use the voting finger and try to keep to what we could have seen on the horizon. But we all took in the initiative. Well, not all of us, but the 100,000 people who refused not to vote made that decision to see what if the grass was yellow on the other side. Okay, Pastor, have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. God bless. Until the next one.
This morning, I just want to go through a bit again on the budget, and I want to stay on message based on debate in the Parliament, and judging from the standing finance committee's debate in the Parliament, it is obvious that what we've been saying all along is that the budget will be derailed by the first quarter of next year. In fact, I'm going back to the first month of the calendar year, new calendar year. And why would the budget be derailed? I mean, something that I would not like to see. It has happened before. Budgets have been recalibrated after a month, 2 months, okay, and put back out. You have seen many times where ministries have been asked to cut their budget by 10% and come back to the Ministry of Finance across the board 10%. But the budget is essentially based on some very dubious assumptions and some exceedingly creative accounting. And I'm just going to show you one, and I'm not going to go into the numbers because I want to pitch this again for the ordinary man in the street. And I'm not going to go into the oil prices. You're all aware of the oil prices and the gas prices significantly budgeted higher than projected for next year. But I just want to say this, and to put it in perspective. This country spends $4.5 billion a month on goods and services, transfers, etc., that you can't afford not to spend $4.5 billion. You do a quick mathematics, and that equates to $54 billion a year. You cannot afford not to spend that $54 billion. And I keep saying, and I'm staying on message, that's like transfers and subsidies, old age pensions, public assistance grant, etc., debt service, all the direct charges on the exchequer. You can't afford not to spend on that. So we are locked in at $54 billion a year. The budget has projected revenue $55 billion. You understand what's the problem there? And with a $20 difference in the projected price of oil and the international projected price of oil, a $20 difference, US dollar difference. So you understand you don't have a lot of margin for error. So what is going to happen starting from this month, which is what we call, November is what we call a dry month at the Ministry of Finance. Starting from this month, the government is going to be cash trapped. The cash flow, they're going to have a cash flow problem starting from November. Okay? And you're going to see it And there's a reason why public servants won't be paid on time, etc., etc. Cash flow issues are going to just continue into the new fiscal year. So one of the reasons why most people would suspect that the government inflated the oil price assumption, and although we're not really an oil province any longer, Stuart Young MP will tell you that we're more a gas province. But however, the price of oil still has a tremendous impact on total revenue. One of the basic assumptions is that the government wants access to the Heritage and Civilization Fund. And to do that, obviously, you inflate the projected price of oil as against what you expect to get from actual. And that triggers the withdrawal rules of the Heritage and Civilization Fund. Similarly, on the expenditure assumptions, as I said earlier, mandatory expenditure is 54 billion. But surprisingly, given all the discussions during the campaign, etc., and during the budget debate about having new revenue sources, etc., remember what the question? Where are you going to get the money from? And the government mentioned, well, we're going to get new revenue sources. However, when you have a PSIP of only $4.1 billion, a little above 4% of your GDP, there's not much you can do. And because your public sector investment program is where you generate your economic growth, you generate your investment activity. This is where you expect your economic growth to take place. But your 4.1 billion cannot generate the additional revenue in the non-energy sector that the government is projecting. And I want to say a bit on the deficit, which is one of the most deceptive deficits I've ever seen in all my career at the Ministry of Finance. Not many years, just about 30-something. At 3.8 billion, or 2.17% of GDP, but it is more obvious not for what it includes, but what it doesn't include. And here what it does not include, that deficit. It doesn't include back pay of 10% for public servants. Does not include. It does not include the addition to recurrent expenditure when you pay the additional 10%. You see, that 4.5 billion I said that must be paid every month, it goes up by 200 million automatically from the time you make that 10% salary increase. Let me make it clear. As a former public servant, in fact, I probably still am a public servant, I want to make it clear that I have no problems with the public servants getting the increase in salary. But things must be put in place. It's not at the expense of the rest of the country, at the expense of the economy. I'm all for public servants getting increase. In fact, last time when they got the 14%, I negotiated the 14%. So it's not a matter I am against public servants. I also used to be a member of the PSC. Right? So I cannot be accused of that. So firstly, as I said, it doesn't include the back pay, it doesn't include the current expenditure for the salary increase. And for some inexplicable reason, I want you all to go and check. I said it during my debate. On page 110 of the draft estimates of head 19, you'll see a figure there, 7.675 billion. Last year, it was 12. That's debt servicing. And the previous year, it was 12. How could it fall so drastically by $5 billion in the face of an increasing debt stock? If your debt stock is increasing, your debt servicing must increase. And then, this is a figure that a lot of ministers of finance like to forget. And again, I'm giving the page on page 5, or the estimates of revenue. Okay? There's a figure there for VAT of $8.2 billion. That figure for VAT is not a net figure. It doesn't include arrears of $7.9 billion. Okay, so all of that is part of the deficit. And you know what it does not include also? That deficit does not include the employer's contribution to NIS. Not that additional that is going to come in into 2026, the 45% at the end of 2027, or at the beginning of 2027, I should say. And a bit on the financing. I want to direct you to page 67 of the estimates of revenue. I'm sure you'll be familiar with the estimates of revenue, what we call the yellow book, right? And the first thing is, why would we have a deficit? Why would the minister be projected a deficit of $3.8 billion and a financing of almost $19 billion? Go page 67, you see there, black and white. Domestic financing, $8.1 billion. External financing, $10.8. Why are you projecting $19 billion in financing for a deficit of $3.8 billion? That's the question. Is that creative accounting? Or is the true deficit really $19 billion? But you see, while that may be hidden nicely in the estimates, you can't hide from Standard & Poor's. You cannot hide from Moody's. Those guys calculated that already. Okay, they understand the books. You can't hide it from the Article 4 consultation of the IMF. You can't. And this is where the budget will be derailed. And as I said, I've seen a budget derail in the first quarter of the fiscal year. I've seen it being derailed in the second quarter of the fiscal year. And everything had to be recalibrated. So how they plan on how does government plan on financing this deficit? Well, they'll have to come back to Parliament because we are approaching the limit, or borrowing limit, and they lost all the headroom that they had between how much they could borrow and the limit of the legislated limit. So you can expect the government to come back to Parliament by about December for the latest, to ask for additional spending limit. And what is going to happen? From the time that amendment is introduced to increase the borrowing limit, downgrade. All right? Immediate downgrade from Standard & Poor's and Moody's. And the next thing that, for some inexplicable reason, I keep mentioning it all the time, but I don't know if the minister is worried about it. I don't know if the governor of Central Bank is worried about it. I am certainly worried about it. I've been worried about it for a long time because it's given me a lot of sleepless nights at the Ministry of Finance. Are you aware that we have an exchequer account that is in deficit of by $50 billion? In other words, the minister cannot do anything with fiscal policy until that $50 billion is paid down. He cannot do anything with a lot of the accounts in that cash balances at the central bank have been mortgaged to this thing called the overdraft facility at the central bank. And it has built up over the years since 2009. Every time you run a fiscal deficit, that number builds up. The only way you could pay it down or pay it back is that you have to run fiscal surpluses to pay back into the central bank. For some strange reason, I'm not getting any feedback on that. That's $50 billion. That is stifling fiscal policy. Can't do a thing about it. I'm not seeing it in the press. I'm not hearing about it in Parliament. I'm not hearing about it from the minister. I'm not hearing about it from the Honorable Prime Minister. So I don't know. And you know what? You're not going to wake up one day and that $50 billion is just going to disappear. So I just want to look quickly now at just some of the, and they've been well ventilated in public.
So that's what the young man was talking about. That is what the young man was talking about. I continue to take your calls on 464-7003. 464-7003. Somebody say we cook. I trying to find some videos here. You know, there's a video of when Anil Roberts and we name David Lee was going into HDC. The people rejoiced. I also wanted to find back the video with when what's his name? Barry Padarat was going into where he was going, boy, Wassa, and the people rejoiced. I'm just trying to find those videos to just to refresh all the memory a little bit now. But I'm not seeing it. I don't know. I'm not seeing them. Alright. So again, the numbers you can call is 464-7003. 464-7003. Alright. Interesting, how are you? Real interesting, boy. We're living in some interesting times going ahead. Yep, we're living in some really, really interesting times going forward. Real interesting times. And people just have to wake up and see things for what it is and stop pulling wool over your eye.
They're coming outside the Prime Minister's office every week and they're shouting at me in case I have it in my pocket to give them. Well, let me tell them tonight, many of you who enjoy that back pay, who's shouting for that back pay, you may get the back pay and lose your job. They're coming outside the Prime Minister's office every week and they're shouting at me in case I have it in my pocket to give them. Well, let me tell them tonight, many of you who enjoy that back pay, who's shouting for that back pay, you may get the back pay and lose your job.
Yeah, so he going for 5 years. Tory take everything.
No, because it ain't really making sense right now. Everybody, it's still getting more than the police.
No. Why? Because I find the crime rate so high. We're not feeling safe anymore. We need more patrol in the area.
I believe it should be extended because security is very important to this country. A lot of crime. Too much of crime taking place in this country. You're not safe. Anyway, you're not safe. And I believe it should be extended and more officers around to protect the people.
Well, personally, I don't think we have a state of emergency going on because there's a lot of crime in the country happening. And for me, there's no detection of crime because people getting robbed all over the place. And the cameras that's supposed to be working to detect cars from point A to point B, I don't know if they're using it or if they're not using it. So a state of emergency to me is how no make sense.
No, it really makes sense. I see in that it's making sense. Yes, because people are safe in the country. Yes, because people are safe in the country.
Yes, because people are safe in the country.
Well, all you vote for SOE. Like that SOE not pay now.
This Christmas time coming, things go be a little lean. You can't buy punch in rum, so you can't make punch a cream. But all them have their big money inside the vault, while poor man have to drink super gasoline and suck salt. Making me suffer. Camila, making me suffer. Camila, making me suffer. Camila, making me suffer. Hey, breathe. Pressure. Jesus. Baila, by what? Jesus. you did not listen to me. You say yellow is the code, so you went and voted for she. But look what's happening now, a good 6 months ain't even past. In every nook and corner, the poor man catching your ass. You didn't like it rowdy, he too arrogant and black. So you look for greener pastures and went and vote Kamala back. You don't like Dr. Rowley, you don't like how he does talk. You went and vote Kamala, the woman could hardly walk.
Kamala, making me suffer. Kamala, making me suffer.
David Lee get arrested, he end up in the hospital. These alleged corrupted big boys, they want to make jail at all. On one hand we have Kamala doggishly looking for war. On the next hand is the boy girl rat is man he looking for. Your AI song for election, it was a mortal sin. You lie and say when UNC win, everybody win. But after election, you let go your princess tongue hen. Now CPEP and URP workers catching the nenen.
Kamala, making me suffer. Kamala, making me suffer.
Them little bandits does engage the soldiers and police. But Kamala gone down Venezuela, disrupted the peace. If Venezuela sneeze, we whole army go start to run. We can't fight Venezuela with we set a little caps gun. This little girl in parliament just keep calling my name. But tell her in Kaiso I'm already in the Hall of Fame. God forbid if I do the things that she want me to do. I'm warning you, your receptacle going to split in two.
Kamala, making me suffer. Kamala, making me suffer.
This Christmas time coming, things go be a little lean. You can't buy punch and rum, so you can't make punch a cream. But all them have their big money inside the vault, while poor man have to drink super gasoline and suck salt.
Kamala, making me suffer. Kamala, making me suffer. Kamala, making me suffer. Kamala, making me suffer.
Well, you asked for it, I played it for you. You asked for it, so I played it for you. But I find the video. Let me say thank you to one of my loyal viewers and listener, Miss Peacemaker. Thank you very much, Peacemaker, for sending me the video. So I will play the video that I've been asking for, or that I was looking for. Found the video, so I'm gonna play it now for you. When I want to see what I'm talking about, I'll show you all the video that I'm talking about. Alright, so Peacemaker would have sent me the video, and I got the video. I said I want to play it for you guys. Some of you, all you, we get duped, you know. Some people get real fool, you know. Only know that, right? Are you all aware that people get fooled? People get fooled and all, yeah. People get duped, boy. People get duped. People get fooled. And if you are one of those persons, you know, we encourage you to take courage. Take courage. But I want to show you what some people, how this thing went down. I think you're not good enough for some people, you know. But I want to play. So I have two videos I want to play for you guys. I'm going to play two videos for you guys. So I'm going to play the video. I'm going to play one video I want to play for you, and then I have this video. Yes. Oh no. Right, let's see. Where is it? So I want to show you all this video tonight. Take a look at this video earlier. People get duped earlier. People get real hurt, you know. People get real hurt. Yeah, people get hurt all year. People get hurt and all year. Yeah. It's sad though. It's sad. But they really take the chain up. And they really believe when them win, everybody win. But take a look at this. 2 videos I have to show you this evening. One, this video. Take a look at this video. Take a listen to this video earlier. Right? Take a listen to this video.
Find at least $4.5 billion. At least. Salaries and wages alone, every single month, cost the government $1.9 billion. That's the first thing you have to deal with. And as ministries and departments, RHAs, we pay all the salaries in the health sector. So in all the RHAs, the government pays the salaries.
Good morning, Minister. My name is Jason. I'm the Margin Director of get my other minister as well, Minister. Where's the other minister?
Good morning. How are you feeling? Good morning, sir. You all right? Good morning. P.S. Good morning. Nice to meet you. Morning. Good morning. Mr. Roberts is my father. Good morning.
Good morning, Minister. Margin Director,
Welcome. Blessing. Welcome again, man. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah.
Prime Minister of St. Vincent. The Housing Development Corporation will end its contracts with at least 50 maintenance providers and their employees by year's end. And its chairman has signaled the possibility of further staff reductions at the corporation as Feroz Khan looks to reverse what he says is a decade of severe financial mismanagement.
In an exclusive interview with CNC3 News, Chairman Feroz Khan sought to paint a picture of the corporation's current financial predicaments, which he said has now led him to take certain corrective actions.
The chairman of the Housing Development Corporation says the entity is in a bad place financially. On top of losing $700 million in fiscal 2025, Chairman Feroz Khan said there's a $40 million overhead bill he's struggling to pay. Of course, a significant part of that overhead is salary and wages, which he said is around 15 or 16 million a month. Now, Khan said he has to pay his staff, but he prefers to have a smaller organization to be able to meet those payments. The agency chairman said the financial hole was not dug overnight, but rather over the last 10 years under the former PNM administration. But how did the corporation reach this financial state? Well, Khan said homes were being constructed for $1.6 million and sold for only $600,000. He also said maintenance providers were charging exorbitant sums for work like cutting grass, sometimes 6 times the market value. And he even showed us this document where a sewer treatment plant for Abone West development ballooned from around $3 million to $34 million. Now, he's made it clear that the 50 maintenance contractors will not have their contracts renewed, as he claims the official tendering process was not followed. Severing ties with them and their associated employees will be done before the end of this year, and he expects to save around $10 million a month with that move. Instead, he said some of the 400 daily paid workers on his pay sheet can do that job instead. Now, apart from the 400 daily paid workers, there are 365 monthly paid employees comprising of about 300 on contracts. Of those 300, already 26 have seen their contracts not renewed. When CNC3 News asked Khan if he will be looking at downsizing further, he said it's not his preferred option, but it's also not outside the realm of possibility. The chairman said it's a tough business decision, but going forward, when the contract for an employee comes to an end, it will not be renewed as easily as they were before. He said a 2-year contract is a 2-year contract, and there's no obligation for the HDC to extend it further. Now, the PSA is the union for these workers. President Felicia Thomas could not be reached for comment, but earlier this week she said the union was shocked by the decision not to renew the contracts of the 26 workers and added that the union will demand their reinstatement.
Prime Minister.
Good morning, Minister. My name is Jason Malfon. I'm the Managing Director of get my other minute. Where's the other minute?
Good morning. How are you feeling? Good morning, sir. You all right? Good morning. Yes, good morning. Nice to meet you. Morning. Good morning. Mr. Roberts is my father. Good morning.
Good morning, Minister. Managing Director,
Yeah. Welcome. Blessings. Welcome again, man. Good morning. Yeah. Morning.
Association is calling for the reinstatement of 26 HEC workers whose contracts were not renewed, but HEC's chairman described them as surplus to requirements.
Feroz Khan likened the HEC to a sick cow burdened by ticks, saying that reducing what he sees as a bloated workforce is necessary to give the organization a chance to recover financially. The workers were assigned to the HEC's subsidiary Construction Company Limited. CNC3 News understands that although their contracts had expired, many were informally assured they would be renewed. The PSA's Felicia Thomas said she was shocked by the move and will be asking this week for the workers to be reinstated. But Khan said when the CCL was formed, there were 13 people originally assigned. However, it ballooned to 68. He could not say if more workers will follow suit. However, he did say that the CCL was ineffective and the HEC lost $700 million last year. As a result, he said decisions must be made to ensure its sustainability.
Threatened over 500 jobs in HDC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon. Threatened over 500 jobs in HDC. That is how they take care of you. Brothers and sisters, there is sun on the horizon.
Google when you get time. Good evening. I send this video for you from the CC Winans concert. In this video, if you go up to minute 3:12, just before the 3:14 mark, you'll hear where the reporter spoke about where the Prime Minister was impacted with the crowd, and she indicated that where you have all these people attending the CC Winans concert and they're going back to church. And right after that, she said, it is a global issue. It's a global issue to see so many Gen Zs going back to church. So you wanted the answer? So they went to the concert. They went to that concert. But here we're going on. They cannot be around for the day of prayer. But they went to that concert to see the crowd. And she's concerned with so many Gen Zs in the concert and people going back to God. And it is a global issue.
All right, so let me say again, thank you very, very much to all of you for joining me this evening on Constructive Talk. We had a good conversation. We talked about the minister's response to the robbery on the bus, on the bus route. We talked about his response. We talked about, we also looked at HGC. We looked at the Prime Minister saying that the UNC don't get in regional politics. And we saw where one of her councillors from Marlborough West, Mr. Ali Bokas, went over to St. Vincent to deal with or to be a part of the elections over there. And also we talked about we talked about several other stuff. So again, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining me this evening on Constructive Talk, being a part of the conversation. Talk to you guys on Monday, except that nothing happens between tomorrow, please God, and Sunday. So have a safe weekend, please. If you are a God-fearing person, and if you're not, find yourself in a place with God where you can, your mind and your spirit can go through and sustain what is happening in the world today.
The information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
The snake attacked the hedgehog. The two fought fiercely, but the hedgehog emerged victorious and unharmed, while the snake was wounded, with quills stuck all over its body. Desperate, it began to scream and ask for help in a peasant's yard. A hen trembled upon hearing its lamentations. Seeing its tears and hearing its pleas for pity, the hen felt compassion. Despite being a snake, it seemed to be suffering so much that the hen decided to help it. She took it to the coop and, with care, removed every quill from its body. The snake stayed there playing with the chick until late. But whenever it looked at the baby, the snake silently licked its lips. The hen, even so, looked at it with some suspicion. When night fell, the snake asked, "Madam, it is too late for me to return. May I sleep here tonight?" Without sensing the danger, the hen agreed. The next morning, upon waking up, she noticed something strange. The coop door was open. Small feathers from her chick were scattered all over the floor. The snake had vanished, and with it what the hen loved most. With an empty chest and a broken heart, she fell to the ground crying and swore revenge. Time passed. Even consumed by pain, the hen slowly got back on her feet. Then she decided to organize a great banquet and invited all the animals, including the snake. The snake was now changed. It looked bigger, more elegant. It had shed its skin and exhibited good manners. It arrived bringing gifts for everyone. Seeing the hen, it rushed to embrace her. "I ask by the mercy of God that you forgive me. At that time I was immature. I did not know what I was doing. Today I am different." Moved, the snake gave the hen a grain of corn as a gift. Tears streamed down the snake's face, showing sincere repentance. The hen was touched. She gave up revenge and forgave it. That very night, the snake slept in her house again. But at dawn, the story repeated itself. The door was open. The snake had left without saying goodbye, and another one of her chicks had disappeared. Only scattered feathers denounced what had happened. The hen fell to the ground in silence. She had proven once again the bitter consequence of trusting someone who had already betrayed her. Never give a snake a second chance. If you are going to forgive, forgive. But never make agreements with it again. Forgiveness is not the same as forgetting. Even if the snake sheds its skin, it remains a snake. The mouse, looking through a hole in the wall, saw the farm owner and the farmer opening a package. He thought it was food and was delighted. But it was a mousetrap. The mouse rushed out desperately to talk to the hen. Mrs. Hen, Mrs. Hen. There's a mousetrap on the farm now. We have to do something. How are we going to live with a mousetrap here? The hen replied. Me worry about a mousetrap. That's your problem. You're a mouse, I'm a hen. A mousetrap on the farm doesn't bother me. The mouse lowered his head and went to find the pig. Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, we have to do something. I saw it. The farmer's wife bought a mousetrap. We need to take action, the pig replied. Me worry about the mousetrap? Who is the mouse on the farm? Is it me or is it you? I am the pig. Look at my size. The mouse lowered his head again and went to find the cow, who was eating grass. Desperate and crying, he said, Mrs. Cow, you are my last hope. The farmer and his wife bought a mousetrap. We have to do something, the cow replied. You interrupt my lunch to talk about a mousetrap. I am a cow. You are the mouse here. The mouse was sad and disappointed. No one wanted to help him. He went to sleep in distress. When night came, the mousetrap caught something. The farmer's wife went there in the dark when she thought the trap had caught a mouse. It had actually caught the tail of a venomous rattlesnake. When she put her hand in the trap, the rattlesnake bit her. The farmer, desperate, took his wife to the hospital, where she stayed for several days. After much treatment, he managed to bring her back home, but she was still feverish. And what is good for someone who is feverish and needs to regain strength? Chicken broth. The farmer remembered the hen. He killed the hen to make chicken soup. Friends and family began visiting the farmer's wife to see how she was doing. Some came out of curiosity, others out of concern. More and more people started arriving. And what do guests like to eat? The farmer looked at the pig and decided to sacrifice it too. But even with all the care, the woman did not make it and eventually passed away. With the wake, the whole town came to offer condolences. Even more people arrived, and the farmer, having no way to feed so many people, sacrificed the cow. What is the moral of the story? When someone in your home has a problem, never say that problem is not yours. Your husband's problem is your problem. Your wife's problem is your problem. The problem of your son, father, or mother is your problem, because a problem that affects one person inside the house, sooner or later, will affect everyone. Matthew 12:25 says, "A house divided cannot stand. The problem of one is the problem of all." If you watched until the end, share this video and comment where you are watching this content from.
Hi. So a lot of people have been asking, where is Haley by Wendy? So anybody confused? That's okay. Don't be too concerned. We didn't move too far. Only from Matilda Princess Song to High Street Princess Song. I saw a video showing how to exactly get to us. As you can see, we are just over Secure Credit Union, and that yellow staircase is your pathway to many potential great services that you'll love. Just to name a few so you can get a hint of what we're all about: wig installment, braids, relaxer, color, manicure, pedicure, waxing, and much more. Do you want to book an appointment with us? If so, message us on our WhatsApp at 868-331-9747.
You give your hand to me and let me say hello, and now can hardly speak. My heart is beating so, and everyone can tell. You think you know me well, well you don't know me.
Hey guys, I am Nigel O'Connor, a singer for all seasons. I am that voice that moves you for every occasion I am that voice that celebrates life moments one note at a time. I am Nigel O'Connor. You can contact me at 783-0054 or 754-3154. And oh yes, that's me singing in the background.
Nowadays I'm not speaking songs.
Apostle Dr. Corey K. Grant.
Oh, when the river flows, it will bring every dead thing to life. Because he is Yahweh, Alpha and Omega. That's who he is.
Invites you to an evening of just worship with the Burton sisters.
Jesus, we need a fresh
Spoken word. Ministry in Dance with Faith Over Fear dance team. Come and be ministered to by several worship teams. An evening of just worship at Life in the Word Prophetic Cathedral at 166 Pointe-a-Pierre Road, Fistabella, San Fernando. See you there.
Hey, breathe. Pressure. Jesus. Baila, baila, baila. Baila, baila. What?